Ashley and Eileen of the Winnipeg Paranormal Group. I always want to say investigation or something. Okay, Winnipeg Paranormal Group, who are visiting Brandon, Manitoba today from Winnipeg and Kenora, right? And so we've had some time to talk, and I am fascinated. So thank you guys for sitting down with me so we can, dig a bit more into this. So we are in the Brandon General Museum and Archives in downtown Brandon on 9th Street. And you guys are here to do what tonight?
We are here to host a public investigation. So we sold some tickets to some of the public, and we're hoping to do an investigation with them and hopefully catch something for them.
Okay, so did the museum reach out to you guys? Did you reach out to the museum? How did this all come about?
I reached out to them, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so is that, so for public investigations and you sell tickets, do you kind of just find historic buildings or museums in particular? Or what do you kind of look for?
We like working with the small museums.
Yeah.
They don't get as much funding as a lot of the other larger ones.
Okay.
And they tend to have a lot of the local history, stuff that you don't really hear about, and that's what we want to get out.
Okay, well, I think this is fantastic. When I first saw it on social media, I'm like, that is so cool. And now I get to sit here and talk to you guys. So I love this. So so I'll start with you, Eileen. How long have you been interested in the paranormal and all that stuff?
Since I was a young person.
Yeah.
Since I was a child, really. But I started researching it when I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
So a long time. I don't really want to say how old I am.
Just so I
a long time.
Yeah. So, and it's from meeting with you guys before, we were chatting before, this is a real life passion.
Yes.
For you both.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for your whole group. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. Now, this is called, you call this a public
investigation.
A public investigation. So what can people expect tonight when they come down?
Absolutely nothing, and hopefully everything.
Okay, so do you guys walk around and tour, and what do you want audience participation, or are they observers? Okay.
No, so we will bring all of our equipment out tonight.
Okay.
We'll teach the attendees how to use it.
Right.
Properly, I should stress.
Yeah.
And then we get to investigate with them, so they get to take our tools and investigate the museum.
Okay, so they get to use the tools. So, Eileen, what kind of tools do you bring?
We use all kinds of tools, bells, simple tools. Sometimes the simplest things work, little light up movement, cat balls.
Okay.
I have tons of those. They could play with EMF readers.
Okay,
REM
so
pause.
so you're gonna give everybody.
There's enough. I have several. She has some. We have, as a group, has several in our collection of equipment. So we usually just lay them out and then show them how to use them and involve them.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I didn't realize that's very cool. That it's like a audience participation. So now, this is a public investigation, but you guys also do private investigations. So people can hire your group to come into their personal residence or wherever. So how often do you do that?
It really varies. We were actually just talking about it the other day. Summer tends to be a little bit quieter for us because everybody's out of the house and doing their own thing. But come fall and winter, it tends to pick up. Our highest at one point was probably about 2 a month.
Okay.
So, and that's a lot of work. So we have to review everything afterwards as well. So.
Okay, and so do you have a flat fee to do that, or how does that?
Don't charge, actually.
You don't charge?
No.
Oh.
So that's another reason why we do these public events, is so that we can raise some funds, so that we can buy the new tools or replace the tools that we need to. We also use it to go to conventions so that we can learn from other investigators what they're doing. But I'd say 90% of everything comes from our own pockets.
Wow, so it really is a passion. It's a life. Yeah. Okay. I just assumed that you guys charge for that. So an event like this is really an important fundraiser for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Oh. I'm so impressed by your dedication and travel. And So now, Eileen, you were telling me before your husband participates in this with you. You guys do this together, and you've traveled a lot. So what are some of the places you've traveled and gone to? You know, would you call it like a haunted location, or what's the proper?
They're haunted locations.
Yeah.
We've been Thomas House, Red Boiling Springs, Tennessee. We've been to St. Louis. What was the name of the? Jefferson City. Yeah, there's a penitentiary there. Sorry, there's been so many.
Yeah.
We've been to Gettysburg, Georgia. There's Dead Children's Playground is in Georgia. It's very famous. They've done many shows. Thomas House too. You can Google them and watch the investigations there. Oh gosh, we've done so many. Yeah, there's been lots. No.
So do any stand out as like your favorite, or a place you'd like to go back, or the place you experienced the most activity, or?
Well, I experienced activity at all of them, but there's one I need to go back to, and that was the Dead Children's Playground. It's very, very active, and they just messed with us. It was very children. There was a lot of children, and there was a woman too, but watching them. But there was a lot of children. And they like to play with you. So they like to play games with you. So they were messing with my husband, and I was very, very angry because I thought it was dark, and I thought he was being an amateur running around, you know, irritating me while I was trying to do my thing, and it wasn't him. Like the car alarm kept going off, and it's like, what is going on up there? Because it's actually the playground's down a hill.
Yeah.
And so the road goes along the top there.
Yeah.
Truck was parked over there, and I'm down at the playground myself.
Yeah.
I like to use flashlights. The flashlights I have there, mag lights, thank you. And I like to communicate using them. They work very well for me. So communicate, they turn them on, they turn them off, and there was a lot, and I kept getting this child telling me, that was me, and I was like, well, do it again, because I'm not seeing him. Meanwhile, he's running around up there, my husband, right? I thought it was my husband, and the car alarms are going off, and what is he doing up there? So then it's just like, forget it, I'm just gonna go, you know, he's being amateur hour tonight for some reason. We only traveled all this way, you know, and I'm mad, and I'm gonna strangle him. So I get back in the truck, and he looks at me and he goes, are you mad at me for something? And I said, then I let him have it, right? Like, we traveled all this way, and, you know, he goes, I was standing over by the tree, that wasn't me, you know, and when the alarm went off, it was, the keys weren't even nowhere near me. It wasn't even near the truck, and he had the keys down, and the truck just kind of was, whoa, you know, going, it was just ridiculous. So every time something like that would happen, the child would tell me that was me, but I thought I was expecting something down there, not up there. And the shadows I was seeing, it was not him. He was standing way over by the truck, and here I can see him running around and scurrying around, and I thought he was freaked out, and it wasn't him. So it's just because it was dark, you just see shadows. Yeah, it was like, oh, okay, sorry about that, but so I'd like to go back because now that I know, and because I just got kind of fed up and
you were so
annoyed. And
is Dead Children's Playground literal? Like,
it's called the Dead Children's Playground because the entire town during the Spanish flu, I believe it was, it literally wiped out the entire town. I think there was 2 or 3 people that remaining. I think one was the nurse or something. You can Google the history, but the entire town was completely wiped out by this epidemic, and a lot of children. So they're all buried there. So the States has very old history. So Gettysburg, like the graveyard there was tremendously active. That one I ran, like that's one of the few times I ran, was there. I've only run a couple times.
So when you say you ran, is that like because you get scared and run, or like?
Yeah, and that often doesn't happen to me, right? Usually, if I'll go to it, not away from it. But there is a time and I know when it's there, when it hits me, that it's time to go. You know, it's time to go. you know, and that was one of those times where it's like, no, I got to get out of here.
So Gettysburg. So if you
Gettysburg
want
is
some
very
ghosts.
active. Everybody knows Gettysburg's
Yeah.
active though, but it's until you experience it, you have absolutely like apparitions running on horseback across, like my husband saw, like to the point where he turned around and we were looking for where it parted the corn field, and there was nothing. If a horse went through there, it would have parted that corn. Yeah. And it's amazing history, very well preserved site, but a lot of energy. So that land's old. There's been battles on that land centuries before the actual Civil War battles. So it holds a lot of energy.
So have you ever gone like over to Europe or like to even older?
I haven't had a chance to do that. No.
Is this type of like kind of like paranormal research and all that as common over there? Is it?
Yeah. I got lots on my bucket list for Europe. Yeah, for sure. The buildings there have tremendous history.
Because there's like that. It almost goes back even further.
Yeah.
You know,
And I have tons on my bucket list.
I feel like they promote it more too, right? Even more than the States. Like, there's so many places there that will advertise that they're haunted and specifically do tours regularly of their location.
And I have to mention, because this is broadcast, you can't investigate Gettysburg without permission. Just so you know.
Oh, so it's like you can't just pull up in your car.
We tried that. We got kicked out. But the graveyard is pretty open, but they're pretty restricted. So I suggest you ask permission. Yeah. Or you will get arrested. Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Okay. So Ashley, what about you? Like, I found it interesting, your story of how you got involved in this. So tell me that story again.
So, we actually lived in a house with a lot of activity. We recently moved in, and you always hear weird noises when you move into a new place, right? You just kind of chalk it up to house settling or the neighbors or whatever. Yeah. And then my son started asking us for a nightlight. And when we started asking why, he's like, the dark man comes out of my closet. And he just said it like straightforward, like we should know, like obviously, Mom, the dark man comes out of my closet. So that's when we started paying more attention to the things that were going on in the house, and we started realizing, okay, well, sounds like there's somebody walking above our head on the second, or the floor, but the kids are in bed. Yeah. I felt somebody sit down on the bed beside me, and it was heavy enough that it had me roll to the middle of the bed. We had toys that would go off, but then you'd look and there's no batteries in them, where the batteries were dead. So you have these toys that are just playing by themselves. Being
energized.
Yeah, exactly. We had our radio go off by itself. Yeah. Full blast. Could never really figure that one out because you needed a remote, and the remote had been lost when we moved into that house. Yeah. So there was just a lot of really, really strange, unusual occurrences in that house. And so then at that point I reached out to Winnipeg Paranormal. Okay. And they came and investigated, and I kind of stayed in touch with my partner Kelly, and when they were looking for an investigator, I threw my hat in and kind of worked my way up to where I am now.
I keep getting goosebumps talking to you guys, right? I'm just like, as you're like
caretaker.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, the caretaker. Okay, tell me about the caretaker, Eileen. So, I mean, you're going to do the full investigation tonight, and so we're not spoiling anything because nobody will see this before that. But tell me, when you walked in here, this was your first time ever being in this
I didn't even know where we were going, to be honest. Often, I prefer if you don't tell me where we're going. Right. So they just say, we have an investigation. Or they'll tell my husband, but I don't want to know, and it's just better that way. Yeah. So we got here, I asked a couple times when we were in the restaurants, where are we going again? And just, a museum. Oh, okay. So I came in, and as soon as I walked in the door here and walked this way, I did this because I thought somebody was standing right there, and that's weird. And then I walked a little further, and then I did it again. It's like somebody's walking with me. Yeah. So I thought maybe it was the hood of my jacket. So you always try and debunk things, right, first. I feel what I feel, but, you always, I guess it's natural to think, was that really what I felt? Or is he really standing there right now?
Yeah.
So I took my jacket off just to be sure.
Yeah.
And walked back through again. Oh yeah, it's him.
Yeah.
And then but I could still see him and feel him there. So he likes to put his hand on your shoulder. And he's very, very nice, but he's the caretaker. He is the caretaker. And he wants to walk you through, right? He's right with you when he walks you through, and he's very proud of the building. He's very proud of it, and he's very protective of it. Yeah, he comes from a different time, so he's. Yeah.
So like, and when you said like he wants to take care of the building, just my whole body went like.
Yeah, he's just.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll just like.
So
Camera. I can tell you more, but I'm not gonna go into it. Yeah.
So that, like, so you hear this, like, and like, I wouldn't consider myself sensitive like you guys are, right? But to know that presence is here in this museum amongst all this history in our own city is really exciting. Like, that's exciting. Like,
he's nice. Like, I got a really warm and fighting, excited. He's a nice person. He's not gonna hurt. He just cares about the building. He's very proud of the building, and he just wants to show you around.
Yeah.
But he follows you, really follows you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she follows you around. Like, let me tell you about this, and yeah, he's nicely. Yeah. Anyway.
That's really beautiful. Thank you. I'm like, oh.
He's nice. Yeah, I'm actually anxious to learn more.
Yeah.
About him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's exciting. And I mean, so are you glad you've kind of had this preliminary walkthrough?
I have to have them.
Oh, you do?
I do. I have to. I have to be alone generally.
Oh, okay.
So if I picked that up when there was people around, I can't wait until I can walk through here by myself, because I need quiet. I work better because I could pick up too many energies from other people too. So I just need to just.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part, is because other people are excited. Right, to hear what you have to say, and then they follow you around. So what are you getting?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's just not going to work for me. So I need to be left alone. Just let me just kind of do my thing, do my walk around, and quietly.
Okay. So Ashley, do you feel that presence the same way Eileen does, or is Eileen kind of the more sensitive one in the group, or?
Eileen is definitely more of the sensitive one in the group.
The tool.
In a good way. Yeah, I can't say I'm sensitive at all. Like,
okay.
I do feel different energies, but I wouldn't call myself sensitive in that way.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it. It's just something like, the more we do the investigations, the more we're involved in them, the more you get familiar. I guess that's the way to put it. More familiar with this type of feeling that you're getting.
Okay, so you go, okay, I know what this means. Kind of like when I said, like, I got like the whole body goose pimples when you said that.
Like that.
Yeah.
Pay attention to what your body is doing. Oh, my head hurts for some reason. I got a little bit of a pain in my, over in that far corner, I get a little pain in the temple here. Pay attention to stuff like that, right? Like, pay attention to what's popping into your head. I don't know if everybody can do it. I don't know, maybe I always thought, why can't anybody do this?
Yeah.
Like, everybody should be able to do this. But because things will pop into my head, images will pop into my head, words, like explanations for things. Like, somebody would be talking about something, just like the car one I told you. Well, you got hit by a car in front of the house, and it's like, really? And then they figure out, that's what happened. You just got to pay. With me, it just pops in. Sometimes I see people, like images of faces, or either they're angry, or they're trying to tell you something, or they're frustrated. But you'll see them to the points where it's like, then you go to the investigation you've been told nothing about, and you see a picture, and oh my God, that's him right there. Things like that, right? So you get used to just pay attention to what your body is doing, and whether it's tingling in your fingertips. That's what I get a lot.
Okay.
Like my fingertips will.
Your fingertips, like
my fingertips will tingle, and
yeah.
That's why I do a lot of this when I'm walking around. Right?
So after your public investigation tonight, do you do like a report or a write-up, or do you leave the museum with anything that they can share with people?
We have
or?
open discussion after the
Yeah.
the different groups will share what they.
Oh,
Yeah, we
okay.
bring them back to validate everything that they experience. So we
Yeah.
hope that everybody will share their stories, and
Right.
hopefully they match or correlate to something that either Keith can validate,
Yeah.
or another group can be like, oh yeah, we had that same thing happen, or, that's always our goal, is to try and validate something that.
And that's why
that
we
they
split them in
experience.
smaller groups, right? Too many people in one group. It's
Gets noisy.
too disruptive.
Yeah.
So that's why chairs are good, because it stops people from moving around. And that most important thing when you're investigating is to be quiet,
Right.
right? Because we can't pick up anything. It could be somebody's movement, whispering is never good. There's a lot, that's a hard one, is the
Yeah.
whispering.
We go over a couple
Yeah,
different
there's
rules before
rules.
we even start the
Yeah,
investigation.
you gotta shut off your electronic data, like you put yourself in airplane mode, so nothing interferes with our equipment, because
Yeah.
it will. And so you get good reads. So that's the hardest, that's the most challenging is being quiet, right?
Yeah.
The whispering is the most challenging.
Yeah.
Don't whisper.
It
you
seems
know.
so simple, but when the lights turn off,
Yeah.
it's natural reaction to whisper.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
it's one of the hardest things. that
I'd
we
rather
have
you
people
just
do.
talk and just say, yeah, that was me, but not constantly talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I find it difficult because I think we all do find it difficult to get some people to cooperate.
Because certain human nature comes out and human
Yeah.
instinct, and
They get
Yeah.
excited. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
and that's
part of it, and that's why
normal.
they're here, right? They're
Yeah.
paying
Yeah,
money
exactly.
to come experience this, and they're excited. And so I'm very sad I can't make it tonight, but you are coming back in
October. Yes.
Halloween time. So tell me about that.
We don't have a lot set yet, other than we'll be coming back to work with the Daily House in October.
Okay, so and doing a public investigation at the
I have
Daily
no
House.
idea.
Well, they don't tell you anything,
I don't know
right?
what it
Yeah. So we can expect you back in October at the Daily House. So anyone that missed
I don't even know what to do.
tonight,
I'm not gonna. I don't know. What the
Yeah.
deal
You don't
is.
need to know.
no.
Why is it? Well, I don't want to know.
So I'm excited because I know this is another opportunity
Yes.
to participate and to come back. Just on a personal note, I'd love to come back and participate. So I just want to thank you guys for your time. I've taken up a lot of your time this afternoon that maybe we didn't plan for, but I'm just so I love this so much. I'm so fascinated, and I
It's
love
pretty
this
freaky
museum.
stuff. Like people like a lot of people are like, really, and
Yeah.
I get it. Like, so usually, our
they either
podcasts
love it or
and stuff.
hate
They're either like, what we discussed earlier. Or are you on medication? No.
Right.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
not
you'd have skeptical people, right?
Yeah.
There'd be
And
people that are
we
skeptical.
encourage the skeptical people, because that's how we can debunk a lot of the stuff, right?
Yeah.
Those are the people that are going to be looking for the logical explanation,
Mhm.
and I mean, as much as we try, and that is our goal, is to try and debunk things and find a logical explanation. Sometimes we're excited just because, we think it's paranormal,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of people do. So those skeptics, they play a key role in the
Yeah, I guess that would
investigations.
make sense, right? It's almost that balance between have you ever won over a skeptic?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Right. You were a skeptic.
One of our
for sure.
first
Husband was a skeptic.
public investigations, was with the Seven Oaks House Museum in Winnipeg.
Okay.
And it was this big burly guy, right, motorcycle type guy, and he's like, I just came because my wife told me I was coming. I don't even believe in this stuff. And he literally ran out.
They're the
He ran out the door. He was like, nope.
Oh, those big tough guys, hey? Oh.
But you do get stuff like that. Like they'll say, I don't believe in that stuff, but
Yeah,
there's
that's-
always a but, right? But my cat stares in the corner for hours and things move around, but I don't believe in that stuff. Oh, okay.
Maybe it's a little self-protection mechanism.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just denial is a
absolutely.
powerful thing, right?
Yeah.
If I just refuse to admit something's going on, then it's not going on.
Yeah.
And it's just natural,
Yeah.
right? They're afraid of it and they just refuse to. But when you make it like totally obvious,
Yeah.
like because I could freak people out easily. Like they don't believe in that stuff, but I'll tell them stuff and it's like, oh, you're, it's like, how'd you know that? You're so creepy.
No, I don't. You're not creepy. So this has been great. I know I want to let you guys get some time before, the big show tonight. So I just want to wish you luck. And I want to thank you for your time. Like, this is really exciting for our little downtown. So I appreciate it a lot. So Ashley and Eileen, thank you. And I can't wait till October. I will be back, even though I'm a big chicken, but I'm going to do it.
October's a good month. Good
Yeah,
month spiritually
Yeah,
speaking.
it's the spooky month.
It is.
So,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
You betcha.